General de Gaulle and Eamon de Valera met at the Irish president's home in Phoenix Park.
Both had suffered military defeat. Both were imprisoned by their enemies. Both were sentenced to death by their enemies, but reprieved. Both had seen the government of their country taken over by people they regarded as collaborators and as traitors. De Valera after the Civil War in 1923, de Gaulle after 1940. Both had been defeated politically and militarily, and yet they came back. They fought their way back to power. And I think in that background you can see the similarities in their characters. His image of de Gaulle over the years had always been of a man who embodied France, a man whose life's work was to defend France, to bring France back to the first tier of nations, and that without him, France would have been left as a second-rate power. And it's interesting when you read that, because if you replaced de Gaulle with de Valera and France with Ireland, you pretty much come up with a description of how de Valera would have viewed himself.
Bachach fir about de Gaulle, ag sé trig cúig orlach, rád a chruthig dúlán eile den bhuireann.
One of the things they needed to source very quickly was to have a bed that would be of a suitable size for General de Gaulle.
Bhí rúndacht ag buint le glóiseachtaí de Gaulle, agus haringeoch labba mór nua ard ar an óstán.
We were not allowed to order a bed because if we did, it would be obvious as to the reason why we needed such a large bed.
We all came up with a plan. We had a double bed, and then we got a single, and we put the single at the end of the double bed, and we tied the legs of the two beds together with wire, and pliers, and tightened it up so it was stable.
We also took the mattress and we sewed the mattress, so we made a longer mattress and a longer bed. My grandmother would have done this just days before the generals to arrive, and then we also had to sew sheets and that, so the sheets would fit the bed. So there was a lot of late nights sewing and fixing the room for General de Gaulle.
Probably the most spectacular shot that was taken on the whole trip was taken when my mother hid a camera up her dress. General de Gaulle stood up and my mother whipped the camera out and got the shot and ran out of the church as the police were going to grab her, took the film out of the camera, threw it to my father who was waiting outside. Wehrmacht sent a courier over to collect it because they wanted total exclusivity on it. That photograph made the front page of Paris Match.